So I have the privilege to present today the speaker of the day. He's called Mr. Ikenna. And he's been doing business since 2008, so almost 11 years. In the business of mortgage, other business, retail, finance. So he's all-rounded everywhere. So today I know we're blessed. And then he also has a company called Modesty Group, which also talk about mortgage investment anymore. Amen? Amen. So let's welcome Mr. Ikenna.
Thank you so very much. It's a big privilege and honor to be here today. I've been here before. I don't know how many of you were here the last time I was here. Good number of us. Fantastic. So I came back because I was very well welcomed the first time I came here. There is this proverb or adage in our native language that says, if the road is good, you can walk it twice. So this path is good, so I decided to walk it twice. And I can walk it more than twice anyway. So I just want to say a very big thank you to Fred and to the men and everyone who deemed me fit to stand before you to speak on mortgages again. I really have a passion for empowerment and empowering people, and I've built my business around empowering my clients and my customers. Because sometimes some people think that the less information they give out to their audience or their clients, the less beneficial it is to them. But it is the other way around. If you are dealing with an enlightened, an educated, and an informed client, it makes your job a lot easier. And it empowers those clients to be able to make the right decisions. Because when they make the right decisions, you are a happy person. It doesn't benefit me, hoarding the knowledge and the information when I know that when I share that information, in fact, the more of that information I share, the more it even helps me personally in terms of my personal development. So I've decided, to build my business around empowering my audience, empowering my clients, letting them know what they need to know. So that when we do business, I'll make sure that I have nothing to hide away from you. What I have told you is what I'm going to do. And it makes this step a lot, easier for me. So today I am, when I spoke to Fred, I asked him, is there any particular area of mortgage you would want me to, focus on, emphasize on? And he said it would be nice if we focus more on, first-time buyers and first-time buyer mortgages, because there are lots of people here who are either looking to buy in the very shortest possible time, or they are ready to buy, but they just want some more information. Thank you, sir. So, just by show of hands, how many of us are first-time buyers or looking to buy anytime soon? When I say anytime soon, it doesn't have to be in the next 3 months, even if it's in the next 3 years. Yes. So you're looking to buy. Right? So, if you don't own a property, automatically you fall into the category of a first-time buyer. It doesn't matter when you buy, but you are still looking to buy. So what you are here to learn today is what will help you to prepare yourself for whenever you're going to be ready to buy. We know that policies around finance and mortgages are not usually constant. It changes if you look at the last time, the financial crisis, from the financial crisis till now, a lot has changed in the mortgage world and in the mortgage industry. So, and we are not saying that whatever we are telling you today will remain the same thing in the next 10 years. It could be. But the information you have now, even if there are changes, you only have to build on them and make a little bit of adjustments. So you're in a better place than being totally uninformed. At least you have a basis to build upon. So, are there people here who already have mortgages? Yeah? All right. So you're not going to be left out. Yeah, because we'll give room for question and answers when we finish the first time buyer presentation. And if you've got issues around mortgages that you want to know more about, you please let us know, and I'll do my best to explain whatever I need to explain to you. So that it's just that we're going to focus a lot more on first-time buyers, to empower our first-time buyers. And I also feel very, very special within myself when I talk to my African and Black brothers. It's been the Black History Month, hasn't it? So it's our month. We're going to celebrate it, yeah. And we celebrate with information, with knowledge, and with the right, attitude and approach. And one thing I'm very passionate about as well, when I talk to my Black African brothers and sisters about financial stuff, is there are certain things that we shouldn't take for granted. The fact that we are in an environment, in a society where there is abundance of information available to us, the only task we have is to grab that information, run with it, make use of it, and apply it. And things will change, certainly. It is only when we are very, very defensive, or when we think that, this information, we don't need it. We need it. Especially when it comes to financial education. When you talk about life insurance among the Black African folks, especially Christians like ourselves, we tend to build this kind of artificial wall around us that we do not need to build around us. But it is the fact of life that risk is a fact of life. Do not operate on ignorance. Do not think that because you're a Christian, you are protected from risk. No. Even God, who created the world, knew that risks happen. Death is a fact of life that will happen. Sicknesses do happen. Accidents do happen. We can pray for God to protect us, and He will do His utmost best to protect us. But what God doesn't do is micromanage our lives. He doesn't tell you how to protect your family and your loved ones, because we are many gods on our own, and therefore we have responsibilities. God doesn't take your responsibility and do for you what you can do and you should do for yourself. A simple task of, setting up a life insurance policy for your family should not be built around your faith and your belief. It has nothing to do with it. It just has to do with you taking responsibility for what you need to do. So, and I am very, very passionate about it because we've come across a lot of our people in this country who have run into several difficulties because of lack of preparation. I've come across situations where, a Black person died and people were running helter-skelter to raise funds to repatriate his body back home. But do you know that if you had life insurance and that life insurance paid out, you don't need anybody to contribute any money to repatriate the body back home? Because that life insurance payout can take care of all those expenses. Simple things like that. Your family doesn't have to be devastated financially because the breadwinner is no longer there. Simple things like that. Your mortgage still has to be paid even if you're not there. You fall sick, you might be involved in an accident and you have spinal injury or leg injury and you can't work. Simple insurance policies are in place to take care of your family while you can't work until you get back on your feet, and then your life carries on. These are things that have been put in place that we do not need to ignore. So if anybody wants me to arrange mortgage for them and they come to my office, after talking to them about the mortgage, the next thing I'm going to be asking them is, how do you intend to protect this mortgage you're taking? Because it's a loan, it's a debt. If you can't work, how is this mortgage going to be paid? If you're no longer there, how is it going to be paid? So while you're thinking about the mortgage, you're thinking about the protection of that mortgage. In fact, a lot of lenders now will hardly let you have mortgage if you don't show life insurance policies, because the lender has a stake in the property. If anything happens to you, who's going to pay the mortgage? They want to know what mechanisms have you put in place to protect these debts that you're taking. Because the last thing a lender wants to do is to start a repossession process. It's tedious, it's time consuming, it costs them time and money. They don't enjoy it. So that's why they put measures in place even before they give you the mortgage to make sure you can afford it and it doesn't come to the point where your home has to be repossessed. It is the very, very last option for the lender. So they take life insurance very seriously. So while you're here to learn and to acquire knowledge about, around mortgages and stuff, let that sink in, that you cannot guarantee yourself that you walk out of this place now and you cannot be knocked down by a car out there. You can't put a guarantee around it. So these are the things we just need to be aware that while we are people of faith. I'm a Christian myself. I was raised in a Christian home, very solid Christian home, and I have very strong Christian beliefs. But I do not allow it to becloud my sense of judgment. The realities are realities. Facts are facts. Risks are risks, and they are there. And if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I cannot blame God for anything. Okay, before I go into preaching mode, let's so Fred has told you about my background, a little bit about it. I came into this country in 2007 as a student. I did my master's degree in finance and business management. Before I came in here, my first degree was also in finance and banking. So right from time, I've been in love with money. Myself and money, we've come a long way. So I came in here, did my master's. 2008, I started a small business where we used to recruit security guards and we handled contracts for security companies, and that was my first taste of self-employment. And after my master's degree, I wanted to go and get a job, just like people who have been programmed to do, get a degree, get a job. I tried to get a job, and somehow along the line I met a few obstructions and it became almost frustrating. And I, just like God asked Moses when he was at the Red Sea, and Moses was waiting on God to do something more, and God asked him, "What do you have in your hand?" And he said, "A staff, use it." So the question came, "What have you got?" I said, "I've got my brains." And God said, "Use it." I decided to set up a business, and that was how the business, my entrepreneurial life started. And the moment I tasted that, I didn't want to look back. It wasn't easy. I set up an Afro-Caribbean shop, and I closed it down because it wasn't giving me what I wanted, and I felt I wanted something more, something I am more comfortable in an environment I'm more comfortable in. And I'm very, very comfortable in the financial services environment. So I closed that business down, and then I went into financial services. Before the financial services chapter, I set up a cargo and shipping company, helping Nigerians to ship stuff from the UK to Nigeria And the business is still running now anyway. So that was my first, business after the Afro-Caribbean shop. I decided to be a service-based organization because that's where I thrive most. Products I'm buying and selling are not usually my strengths. So, but when it comes to service rendering, I know that I like treating people the way I like being treated. So I did a little of research and I realized that there was a gap in the market for that. I set that up, and then I wanted to move closer to financial services as well. So I went into financial services, and financial services are very, very wide. I narrowed it down to property finance because I have passion for properties as well. So I started working with a company, and we had a contract. It was on a partnership basis, and we ironed out how we're going to be relating. I'm going to be using their platform to place businesses, and I'm going to get something in return for that as well. So it helped me maintain my independence. It helped me maintain my entrepreneurial spirit. So I wasn't working for anybody. I had to set my own company up, and I related with that company on also corporate basis because I didn't have, say, the financial muscles and then to be fully FCA regulated. So all I needed to do was find a company that was FCA regulated, have a partnership with them, have an arrangement with them, and then place my business with them, and then we can all work together in the way we want to work. And the partnership has been working for me, and that's how I've been running my business now. So I am not personally, or my company is not personally FCA regulated, but I am riding on the shoulder of giants who have the FCA regulation. So everything that needs to be regulated is regulated in what I do. But the regulation is not with my company directly. The regulation is with the company that I partner with. So, and everything that goes through that system meets the standard requirement